Welcome to the Goalpost, the podcast where it's all about long-term player development. We're here to talk soccer through a different lens, one that puts the players before the scoreboard and progress before pressure. This is all youth soccer with a purpose. All development, all the time. I'm your host, Jason Glover. The long game, why patience and play matter more than you think. Welcome back to the Goalpost, a podcast from Steamer's Crew where we talk about what really matters in youth soccer, building great players and even better people. In today's episode, we're diving deep into something that often gets overlooked in the rush of youth soccer: growth over time, physical growth, emotional growth, game intelligence, and how free play is the key that unlocks it all. Let's talk about physical development. Growth doesn't follow a script. Some players hit a growth spurt at 11, others not until 16, and yet at tryouts, at tournaments, and even coaching meetings, we too often crown the early developer and quietly move on from the late bloomer. But here's the thing. Physical dominance at 13 tells us almost nothing about success at 18. Just because a player isn't winning 1v1 duels right now doesn't mean they lack potential. In fact, sometimes the smaller, less physically developed players are the ones who end up reading the game better, using smarter positioning, tighter control on the ball, and more technical precision. But how does confidence get crushed? So imagine if you're 12, you're not fast enough, you're not tall enough, you're not big enough. That message doesn't just sit on a clipboard, it seeps into a player's identity. And when we send those messages early, we lose players who had intelligence, the creativity, the vision, but they just didn't have the size yet. So as a club, we've got to get better at asking ourselves questions. Are we evaluating what matters? Are we giving the late developers time to develop? Are we protecting belief in every player? Because if we actually talk about how players adapt, so if your size is not a superpower, you learn to survive in the game with your brain and your feet. You start playing faster. You learn to see space earlier. You build resilience. And that adversity, it builds a version of soccer IQ that can't be coached with a set of cones. That's why we're trying to say development isn't a timeline, it's a journey. And every player deserves the full runway to grow. So why do we believe in free play, and what does that have to do with late developers? We had well over 100 kids again last night. The energy and the vibe was awesome. Here's the thing. Some kids were doing 1v1, 2v1, some mixed into bigger games, some explored and went to other fields because they felt like they had spent enough time in one spot. Some players observed while they were getting water. All of this is learning. And if you're wondering, what are they working on? Here's the answer. Rather than those isolated cone drills, we're embedding technical development directly into the flow of play. We're working on first touch with a defender on you. We're working on dribbling under pressure with an opponent. Communication, decision-making, execution, position, moment, direction, speed. This isn't just a free-for-all scrimmage. It's guided chaos with intention. And most importantly, kids are doing what they want to do most. They are playing the game. So what are our coaches tasked with during free play? We tell exactly the opposite of what you would think. If a coach is out there telling the players what to do the entire time, they are not considering thinking for themselves. So if a coach is saying, take 2 touches, don't dribble over there, pass it back, if they're joysticking, all of that works until it doesn't. The second that communication is sent to a player, the angle changes immediately. The pressure shifts. Now, the information that you gave, it's old news as a coach. So the instruction no longer fits. So now the player hesitates, they start thinking, and they lose the moment. So what are our coaches doing instead? We're coaching principles. Play it forward if it's on. Support behind the ball. React when the ball is lost. Create space before receiving. These guide decisions without scripting them. They build intelligence, not memory. We want players reading the game, not replaying our voices in their heads. But it's all about patience. Some of the world's best players were dismissed at 12. They were told they didn't have it. But someone believed in them, and they believed in themselves. That's the power of a long runway. That's why we protect this belief. That's why we don't rush to label these kids. So let's extend belief longer than most systems allow. But what's coming up next? So just think about this. In July, we're doing the Dutch Touch Camp. This is going to be ran by Jan Pruchen. He's a Dutch-inspired training advocate, lives in the Netherlands, is here in the United States for 4 weeks, and we are happy to be able to have Jan at our camp. And the great part is Jan is going to be on the podcast next week. So, players, if you're from outside the club, you can still join us in the fall. We've got the Edge program, which is for the littles. We've got Junior Crew, which is more recreational. And then we have the select side. Every player, every age, every level. There's a place for you to grow here. And parents, keep asking good questions to your children. What did you try tonight? What made you smile out there? What decision did you make that worked? What didn't work? These are all conversations that stick, that builds thinkers, that helps grow confidence. Thanks for listening to the Goalpost. We'll see you tonight out on the field. The Goalpost, where we keep it real about what truly matters in youth soccer. Player growth, long-term development, and building confidence that lasts beyond the game. Tonight, free play continues, and it's just not another session. It's a statement that says we trust kids to lead, we believe in free play, we believe in patience, and we're here for the long haul. Parents, don't forget, make sure you bring lots of water for your children. Make sure they're drinking and hydrating before they arrive. Make sure they have a soccer ball, and encourage curiosity. Until tonight, keep showing up, keep supporting your player's journey, and keep believing in the process, even when the results aren't immediate. Because here at Steamers Crew, it's all development all the time. See you tonight. I'm really glad you joined us today on the Goalpost. Raising and supporting young players isn't always easy, but choosing to focus on their growth, their joy, and their character, now that's the right thing to do. You might not see the results right away, but every small moment you invest makes a big difference in your child's life. And remember, all development, all the time. That's not just a motto, it's a promise. We'll be here next time cheering with you.